Do you want a chance to win a custom playmat? Excited tonight in our new Scrubbly giveaway tournament as a guest duelist? Then click down in the description below. Hello guys, welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro video. This time we're looking up a new Shaddoll card. It's actually called Shaddoll Construct without the L. You know Shaddoll Construct, the fusion monster which is banned in both formats, but Link Vrains pack decided to release the Link monster. Now one of the problems with the card is that you need 2 flip monsters. Shaddolls, they usually don't have more than one, and it's usually not face up, that is Falco. If it's face down, that ain't Falco. So usually you have like a window in a Falco set. So turn 1 you obviously can't do it, and obviously window stops you from special summoning if you use the Falco from the grave to spec itself from the graveyard. So one of the few ways of doing it is to turbo into it. So I decided to make a build where you spec it pretty much turn 1 if you open Rescue Cat, using the dog and the weasel, which is used commonly in Prediction Princess. Of course, Prediction Princess, a flip deck that you can bind quite well with Shaddoll. This deck can spam out the fusions quite well because the Shaddoll Link monster's effect is once per turn you can fusion summon using Shaddoll monsters from your hand and field, so you don't need the Shaddoll fusion basically to fusion summon, and from the graveyard it can spec itself by sending a Shaddoll card you control from your field or hand to the graveyard, and they are all by effect, so it does trigger the effects of your Shaddoll cards from hand and field, so that's quite excellent. And it arrows points left and right, which is a bit of a problem actually, because if you make it at the beginning of the turn, you can't really do anything much with the card, because obviously it's pointing to the left and the right. If it was pointing down and right, it might not be too bad, but usually you have to fuse with it anyway turn 1, so like a Shekinaga or the Fire Guy if you open like an Ash Blossom. And more importantly, it counts as a Link 2, and it can just bring itself back from the graveyard, which means if you want to do some funny Link summoning plays, it counts as 2 materials instead of 1, so that's quite useful. Usually I use it to Link summon and then spec a fusion monster using its effect by fusing from hand. Usually that involves a Shaddoll Hedgehog being sent, so you get a search for a level 4 monster, in which case you can just normal summon that and then you can make a Link 4 using those monsters, or just keep your field like that and attack for some damage. Although Shaddolls are well known to not have that many big monsters to out big monsters on your opponent's side, so you'll probably have to rely on another Link monster for that, because of course Shaddoll Construct, the fusion monster, is banned, which is the main card that dealt with big monsters and big threats back in the day when it was legal. If you remember Shaddolls in 2014, it was one of the best decks during the Duelist Alliance era. Super Poly was at free, Shaddoll Fusion wasn't even out yet, it just had 3 Shaddoll Fusions, and Construct was at free, so it was one of the best decks during that format because you can just special summon from your deck as fusion materials if your opponent controls an extract monster, which is crucial because that was when BA and a few other decks were using mainly the extra deck to utilize combos and stuff. But nowadays it's been reduced to just a mere minor engine to stun your opponent, or just a pet deck if you want to run a pure build, or part of the Prediction Princess builds which can shit out part of Forbidden or whatever. So Konami decided to release a Link monster for the deck, although I don't think it will make the deck any much better with Construct being banned. Just return Construct please, put it to 1, we'll see what happens if that happens. I don't think anything will happen honestly. If you see like all the combos online, there's not even Super Poly legal, and Shaddoll Fusion's at 2, and you have to hard draw that to get it unless you use Hex Command to dump it obviously. The deck can probably not OTK that frequently unless your opponent actually goes into an extract monster turn 1, they didn't know what they're playing against, and you just go here's a bunch of Shaddoll monsters, make this new Link monster and then OTK you, but you can't do that because Construct is banned. I think maybe if Construct is at 2 you can do it, because you can just stack your double constructs which dumps a bunch of Shaddoll cards and you can fusion with the Construct. Also the Shaddoll Construct, the Link monster, it's quite confusing because I always have to say L or just Shaddoll Construct. It's also a light attribute monster, so if Shaddoll Construct is unbanned, you can obviously just make it using Shaddoll Construct and any Shaddoll from hand, because it's a light monster, so you don't need a light monster in your main deck because your extract will provide you a light monster, which is the Link monster. That is if your deck can make it consistently, which the problem with the deck is it can't really field that many flip monsters, face-up flip monsters that is, on the field, unless if you probably already won the game and your opponent can't really keep up with your flip monsters like doing their effects and stuff. So I don't think it's as broken as like a Cryston Needle Fiber, which is obviously not a Cryston monster. It could be a Synchron monster and nobody would care. It doesn't really make the deck super amazing. It's just a good sort of like, here's your Shaddoll card, Shaddoll fans, and come back to the game, I guess. Although when you come back and find out it's actually not super broken, but it's just a nice sort of card to use, I guess. Now for the lore, I'm quite interested in this. It looks like Construct is inside a Klee. I'm not quite sure about the lore with that, but I know Shadows and Klees have something to do with each other during the Dual Terminal series. But Construct looks like a baby Construct in the artwork if you look closely. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it's just up to speculation. I wish there was like a proper book where we can read about it in Dual Terminal lore, although the Links pack sort of probably weren't even planned, so they just sort of add them in later on as like a spin-off sort of characters. I don't know. Of course, with Shaddoll Falco in the deck, you have a tuner monster, which means you have to play Crystal Halofiber. That can let you spec a Falco from the deck or a Ash Blossom from the deck, so you can use that as a material for fusion summoning again, and it got link arrows pointing conveniently to the bottom right and bottom left to make more Shaddoll fusion monsters. Or if you want, you can do some synchro plays with that. But yeah, one go through just to make the Crystron, and you can just combo with that with a bunch of cards. That's about it. If you want to see the whole profile, which is sort of, I don't really recommend using that because it's sort of like it's a rough build used, just go to the end of the video. If you want to try it out, just have a go at it. It's probably one of the most consistent engine of getting the new Link monster out if you just want to get it out. But I think it's more useful mid-game if you just want to play a general Shaddoll build. If you've got any more suggestions on how to sort of turbo that new Shaddoll Link monster route, put it in the comment section below. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the duels using the new Shaddoll Link monster, Shaddoll Construct.